Okay, I want to show you my favorite example of you could have heard a pin drop. Okay, and so it's going to start with a story. Now, this was a song, and it was also made into a movie. I don't know which came first, but it was very popular. It was called The Coward of the County. Coward of the County. So, let me explain to you the story. Here, let me. Whoops. Okay. Coward of the County. Okay. So, okay. So here's the story. Tommy, is his name. Tommy was a little boy. His father lived a wild life. He got into fights all the time, and he drank, and he didn't he didn't avoid fights at all, and you know he ended up in prison, right? Oh, I forgot to tell you. Okay, so he got into fights and he did other stuff. He did other stuff too, you know. But anyway, he died in prison. So Tommy's father loved Tommy. He wanted him to have a better life. Tommy's father believed that most of his troubles could have been avoided if he had avoided fighting, right? So uh, Tommy's father wanted Tommy to live a safer life, right? So he said he made Tommy promise that he would not fight. His father died thinking that that would make Tommy safe and happy. The people around Tommy saw him back down from fights, of course, because he wanted to keep his promise, but did not know the real reason. So the people in the community mistook him for a coward. Yella, right? Yellow means coward. Because he became known not to defend himself, he was bullied terribly. Especially the well, this is an incomplete sentence, okay? Especially by the Gatlin boys, right? I just wrote this really quickly. They tormented him for years. I tried to make these sentences small so that non-native speakers could understand it. Okay, and just make it simple. Okay, Tommy loved Becky. Becky's his girlfriend. Becky loved Tommy. The Gatlin boys, who were terrible people, recognized this. So the three Gatlin boys brutally raped Becky. Okay. Tommy went to the bar to confront them. Now, keep in mind, their whole life, their whole life, they had been like messing with Tommy, right? I'll try to speed this up a little bit. This will kind of tell the story. See, here they are, they're messing with him for no reason, okay? His mother was a beautiful, so his mama named him Tommy, but the folks just called him Yella. See, they're just taunting him. Hey, come on, Tommy. Hey, Yella. Hey. This is his uncle. See, all the time, his whole life, smacking him, right? And he never fought back. Okay. So, Tommy's love was Becky. So innocent, right? Well, you can clean the mud off of your face, all right? Now, this is the case of the Gatlin boys attacking Becky. 3 of them. So now he's starting to think about, well, his dad looks exactly like his uncle? Something's mysterious there. Okay, I guess they're... Okay. I have to figure that one out later. So this is his uncle. Okay. So this is more stuff that they're doing to Tommy. Okay, here we go. So I think he's having like memories of this. So now he goes to the bar. Becky's been raped. Okay. The Gatlin boys just laughed at him when he walked into the bar room. Because they thought he's never going to do anything. He's a coward. Right? I'm going to have to turn this sound on.
Just laughed at him when he walked into the bar room. One of them got up and hit him halfway across the floor. Tommy turned around and said, "Hey, look, old Yella's leaving."
Hey, look, old Yella's leaving. They're just calling him a coward. Watch this. I'll just play it full speed.
She could have heard a pin drop.
But you could have heard a pin drop when Tommy stopped and locked the door.
Tommy stopped and locked the door. Hey, look, old Yella's leaving. She could have heard a pin drop. Tommy stopped and locked the door.
That means he's locking him in. So shit's going to get real, okay? Now, I want to show you. Now, that was the song version. This is the movie.
Hi, Tommy. Where you been?
Let's go outside, Gatlin.
Let's go outside. So he's confronting him and asking him for a fight. So that's one of the Gatlin boys.
Now, what do I want to go out in the cold for, Tommy, when I got me a nice, warm girl right here?
Go away, Tommy. We're enjoying ourselves.
Yeah, get out of here. Get. Come on. Come on, come on.
There's the other 2 Gatlin brothers, right? These 2 guys. So they always had him outnumbered, too, which is really kind of not fair. It's totally not fair. God, I hate that. All right.
Keep going, Yella.
Get going, Yella. Get going, Yella. Buck, no, so they're doing this thing where they're like, buck, 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 buck. That's making a chicken noise, okay? So if you've watched all of my videos, you know what that means, okay? It means you're scared. Yellow belly? Let's watch that again. So he locked the door. Now, listen to how quiet it got. You could have heard a pin drop. He locked the door. Okay, they were noisy. Watch this. I love this. Oh, shit just got real. Then he kicks everybody's ass. All right, you know the story. He attacks all three of them and teaches them a lesson. Okay, so that's the story. But right about this time, he says you could have heard a pin drop when Tommy stopped and locked the door. Quiet. Is that quiet? It went from noisy to quiet. And that's the way the song lyrics go. But you could have heard a pin drop when Tommy stopped and locked the door. How cool is that? So the song goes, everyone considered him the coward of the county. He never stood one single time to prove the county wrong. Because he had this secret promise, right? His mama named him Tommy, but the folks just called him Yellow. Something always told me that they were reading Tommy wrong, means they misunderstood. He was only 10 years old when his daddy died in prison. I took care of Tommy because he was my brother's son. So that's why the guy with the beard is in the movie, because he's the uncle. Although he looked so much like the father, it's kind of weird. So he says, so this is what his father said. His son, just a minute. Okay. Said, son, my life is over, but yours has just begun. Promise me, son, not to do the things I've done. Walk away from trouble if you can. It won't mean you're weak if you turn the other cheek. Now, turn the other cheek. Now, I want to talk about that. Now, I'm going to get into trouble here because I'm going to probably state something that's not exactly right. But in Christianity, it says that if somebody hits you in, hits you in the cheek, you should turn the other one, which means to not fight and to just allow them to attack you, right? And don't get revenge, because that means you're just as bad a person, right? So turn the other cheek means don't fight back, right? So let's go back. So it won't mean you're weak if you turn the other cheek. I hope you're old enough to understand. Son, you don't have to fight to be a man. Okay. There's someone for everyone, and Tommy's love was Becky. In her arms, he didn't have to prove he was a man. One day while he was working, the Gatlin boys came calling, means came around. They took turns at Becky, means they raped her, and there was 3 of them. When Tommy opened up the door, he saw Becky crying. The torn dress and shattered look was more than he could stand. He reached above the fireplace and took down his daddy's picture. Tears fell down on his daddy's face when he heard these words again. Okay, so that's the refrain, right? Son, you don't have to fight to be a man. All right. So the Gatlin boys just laughed at him when he walked into the bar room. That's exactly what happened. One of them got up and met him halfway across the floor. Well, the movie didn't exactly match it, because he didn't meet him halfway across the floor. When Tommy turned around, they said, "Hey, look, old Yeller's leaving." but you could have heard a pin drop when Tommy stopped and locked the door. Even before I saw the movie, I heard this lyric and I was like, oh my God, right? Shit's gonna get real here. Okay, so 20 years of crawling were bottled up inside him, and so when, he wasn't holding anything back, he let them have it all. When Tommy left the barroom, not a Gatlin boy was standing. And he said, this one's for Becky as the last one's fall. And I heard him say, and then he says something back to his dad. Okay, if you want to see that, you can Google it yourself. Okay. But I'm sure they did not consider him the coward of the county after that. Okay. So, cool song. And my favorite example of you could have heard a pin drop, right? So, anyway, I will talk to you on the next idiom.